Hey, I'm Mark, and I'm at the moment learning Vietnamese. So you've probably seen, or maybe seen some of my videos on my channel already. Um, and I'm just kind of documenting how I learn Vietnamese and what things I learn, what things I struggle with. And maybe if you're really beginning, even if you have even less knowledge about Vietnamese than me, which is kind of hard to have, but if that's the case, maybe you can learn a little bit as well and get some help and support with your learning of Vietnamese. But another thing that I'm doing at the moment, another project that I'm on, is creating a new alphabet for English. The first reason I'm doing that is because for native English speakers, what I've learned over the last few years is that English native speakers, on average, take about 9 years to learn how to read and write in English. So that's a long time, right? That's quite a long time. And that's on average as well. So some kids learn really quickly. Other kids take much longer to learn. But on average, it's about 9 or so years. And when you compare that to, say, an Italian child who learns Italian, they may only take, on average, about 2 to 3, maybe 4 years to learn how to read and write Italian. So think about the difference between 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 at the most, and then 9 years on average, right? How much more can Italian kids learn when they only have to spend like 3 years learning how to read and write? After that, they can start reading and writing a ton of other stuff. Within lots of different subjects and topics, whereas English speakers are still struggling by the time they're like, 10 or 12, they might still not be able to read and write properly on average. So that's a big problem, right? It's because English is crazily spelt. There are a lot of crazy grammatical, not grammatical, I should say, a lot of, well, I guess crazy grammatical things as well that make writing hard, because especially verbs change a lot. But just the way we spell things is kind of crazy for modern day pronunciation. So we need to have a new style of writing, because otherwise our children will be struggling even more. And over the next 100 to 200 years, our language will probably evolve even more differently from how we write already. So we need to be able to have a written language that we can use, that is understandable to us, and that we can write easily and read easily with, that matches our pronunciation as we're speaking it. Because if we write something different to how we pronounce it, it's very hard for people to learn that. It's harder for children to learn it, and it's also hard for non-native speakers to learn that. And the thing is, with English, the majority of speakers of English are actually non-native speakers. So most people who speak English don't come from English-speaking countries. A lot of people spend a lot of time and money and effort to learn English, even just to learn how to read and write English. It's a massive issue for a lot of people. And a lot of people rely on English to get a better job so that they can feed their families easier, or that they can pay for medical bills or stuff like that. So there are lots of people who actually really need to learn English as quickly as possible, and the way it is written really impedes that quite a lot. So for me, again, it's another reason why I feel we need a new alphabet. So what I've done is created a new alphabet. I've got a website already, and I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I actually have a YouTube channel already with my old version of my alphabet from 2020, I think it was. But I can't actually access it. It's called the Expressive English Alphabet. And that's the YouTube channel as well, is called that. But I literally can't access it, because the only way to access it is if I verify my account with a phone number from like 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was, and I just don't have that phone number anymore. So I literally can't get into it. So I have to start a new account, which is really annoying because I've already got like 200 subscribers there. But yeah, anyway, I've changed it a lot since then, so it's a totally different alphabet. And the main things that I've changed, or the main things that I've added to this alphabet really improve it a lot. But I won't talk about it here because it's already long enough, this video. But yeah, if you want to know more about this alphabet and how it can cope with being written by multiple different people from around the world who all have different accents, because that's one of the issues that a lot of people tell me about. They say, well, if you have an alphabet for English, how do you account for all the different accents within this alphabet? Because, you know, for me personally, I would say plant, because I'm from New Zealand, I would say plant, but someone just over in Australia would say plant. Or I would say dance and someone would say dance. Or maybe I would say hot, but then an American would say hot. And then that's actually pronounced the same as I would say heart, like as in my heart is here. But then they would say heart, right? So it can be a bit confusing, because how am I going to say hot and they're going to say heart? But then if I say heart, it will look like they're hot. So there are all these issues that come up when we start writing phonetically, and we have to write between different accents. So they're only like a couple of examples. There are tons of other examples that are an issue. I needed to figure that out, and maybe there's still some things that I need to figure out, but maybe I can have some help from other people. And yeah, I just want to get this alphabet out there into the public so that people hopefully start using it. And I will soon hopefully have a soft keyboard with this alphabet on it too, so we can actually like text people and write online with this alphabet as well from our phones. And it'd be cool to get a hard keyboard too. But yeah, that's my plan. So if you want to come along and see what it's about, and if you're interested in it, just come over to the channel. I'll put the link in the description. I haven't worked out a name for it yet, but it will be something to do with like Expressive English or something like that. But I do have a website already. It's the Expressive English Alphabet website, which I think it's it's called expressiveenglish.com, I think, from memory, but I'll find that and I'll put it in the description. I've updated all of it. I'm just updating the stories. So I've transliterated Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. So I'm in the middle of transliterating that into the current alphabet. So I'm halfway through the first one, but I haven't started the second one yet. But yeah, just come along and you'll get a whole, once you go to that website, you'll get the whole alphabet there, as well as other letter combinations, and you'll get some examples and explanations on how it works and how different letters tie together and how they work. It is a little bit complicated in some ways, but it's also very simple in other ways. So yeah, you're welcome to come along and just have a look at the website and join my channel, and we can just figure it out and start getting people to write English better. So thank you very much. I'll see you later.